Should we just call them the Philadelphia Bulldogs now? Like, it's crazy what they're doing. So the Philadelphia Eagles, they're just taking players left and right from Georgia's defense. You got last year when they took Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean. This year, they took Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Khalil Ringo. That's 5 guys that all played together on Georgia's defense. That is insane. So, I mean, is there a method to the madness? Is it, what is it that attracts the Eagles to these guys? So, obviously, these guys are all great players. They are. They are all great players in their own ways, or in their own right. You got Nolan Smith, the very, very fast pass rusher. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, who are going to play on the inside of the D line. You got Ringo, who's going to play corner. You've got Nakobe Dean, who's a middle linebacker. Like, the amount of guys that they're taking from Georgia. So, now I actually said this after day 2 of the draft. I'm going to bring the Steelers into it a little bit, but this talk is mostly about the Philadelphia Eagles, even though it is a very short video. Or at least I expect it to be a very short video. So, the Steelers, they took Broderick Jones, tackle, from Georgia. Then they took the tight end, Darnell Washington, from Georgia. Last year, they took George Pickens, wide receiver from, you guessed it, Georgia. So it seems to almost be like the Philadelphia Eagles are building or rebuilding Georgia's defense, while the Steelers are rebuilding their offense. And I believe day 3 of the draft, right when it was getting started, Rich Eisen said the exact same thing. And when the Philadelphia Eagles traded up to the 3rd spot of day 3, before the draft even started, like, I think it was the Saints, the Raiders, and the Eagles all traded up before the draft even started. So, the Eagles took Khalil Ringo with that pick. And when they were on the clock, I'm like, just watch them take Ringo. Just, like, if they're truly rebuilding the Georgia defense, they're taking Ringo. And lo and behold, they did. So, they are really rebuilding that defense. So, I guess the question is, why? 1, you already have team chemistry. That's one thing. That's nice. You got 5 guys on your defense. That's almost half your defense. That's almost half your starting defense that they all play together. So you got 5 guys that already have really good team chem. So that's one thing. That's a benefit. Also, if the scheme from the Georgia defense to the Philadelphia Eagles defense, I don't know the exact scheme of the Eagles defense, if it's a similar scheme, then, you don't have to learn a whole new scheme. Like, sometimes a player doesn't work with a team, even though they were a great college player. Sometimes they don't work with the team because they don't fit the scheme. Yes, that rhymes, I know. So, if it fits your scheme, then it's going to be an easy transition. So, you could just have a similar defensive playbook or, scheme to that of Georgia. So, there's a couple of benefits to that. And it was brought up that the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles is actually a Florida Gator alum, Howie Roseman. And it's, if he's a Florida alum and he's taking all these Georgia guys, but again, you're just doing your job. It's, yes, you were an alum from Florida, but you're doing your job. And at that point, it's got to come before your loyalty to a college, obviously, or else you're going to be out of the job. So, especially if, like, the guys, they don't fit your scheme, if, You got to be able to coach these guys, teach them, and get them on the field. So, yeah, it almost feels like we should just call them the Philadelphia Bulldogs at this point. If you guys are excited for all these guys, if you're an Eagles fan and you are excited for all of these guys coming up on the field and potentially, I guess, being on the field at the same time, because if you were to play Davis and Carter on the inside, you put Nolan Smith on the edge, you have Nakobe Dean at linebacker, and then you have Ringo, probably I would say Sly, right? You have Slay and Bradbury on the outside, Ringo in the slot, probably? Question mark? But, I mean, who knows? Especially during preseason, there could be times where we see these guys on the field at the same time. So, if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, turn notifications on. I'll see everyone in the next video. Thanks for watching.